Welcome back, everyone. We'll now join Renee Lobo as she speaks to 16-year-old Yuvraj Dugal about his amazing venture raising funds for endangered animals at the Belize Zoo in Central America. Let's join them.
I'm talking to an extraordinary young adult who, with his sleeves up hard work, has raised the bar on volunteerism and community service. He's 16-year-old Yuvraj from Chicago, and he's become an active voice for the endangered animals in Belize Zoo. He actually raised in just about 4 months $22,000 Belize dollars, and it's a pleasure to talk to this young adult who's done so much and a great inspirational story for all of you who are watching this show. Yuvraj, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here today.
Tell me now, how did you get involved in endangered species in Belize Zoo? How did it all start?
Well, in August, I'd gone to visit the U.S. Ambassador, Vinay Tumalapalli.
So he's the U.S. Ambassador to Belize?
Yes, that's correct. And I went there, and I'd gone there more for a learning experience at first, just to see, what the life of a U.S. ambassador is, how he lives with his family, and he was nice enough to show me around. And then one day, he and his wife took me to the Belizean Zoo, right, which is a very major attraction to Belize, and it causes a lot of tourists to come there. And they showed me how recently there was a big hurricane there, Hurricane Richard, which caused lots of devastation to the zoo and the endangered species, because the Belize Zoo is an endangered species zoo and one of the few major endangered species zoos in the world. And they showed me all the devastation, the trees that had fallen, the animals, cages that had been ruined. And the animals, when we went there, were not even in their full cages. They were in like small boxes because they didn't even have the proper habitats to live in. And then I just, I went there and I was like, I have to do something for the zoo now, because I was seeing the zoo and the devastation, and I knew that something had to be done to help these animals, because they didn't have enough funds to help rebuild the zoo.
Now, I know there are jaguars over there, there are howler monkeys as well.
Right.
And so what did you encounter over there?
I loved all the animals at the zoo, but mostly I like the jaguars. I found them very interesting, and they are the main attraction to the zoo. And because they have one of the very few jaguar rehabilitation centers in the world, I thought it was so interesting how they train the jaguars from wild and to tame them. And you see these jaguars and how they interact, and it's the most fascinating thing I've probably ever seen.
You were actually in a cage one time, right?
Right.
Did that scare you?
Yes. The ambassador told me there's a option when you go there called a jaguar encounter, where you go inside the jaguar's habitat, and there's a small cage in which they put you inside, and you're with a trainer, and the trainer calls the jaguar, and the main jaguar's name is Junior Buddy. He calls him, and they've taught him tricks. So you hold a treat, and you tell him, like, Junior, do a somersault, and he would do a somersault, and at the very end, he was trained to jump on top of your cage, that the cage I was in, and he licked me on the forehead.
Oh, my God. Now, you saw all these endangered animals in Belize Zoo. Did that, ignite a spark that you want to help them out and you want to raise money for, protecting them and conserving their natural habitats?
It definitely did. The part that hit me most was the devastation that had been caused in the zoo, and seeing these endangered animals in a more endangered environment. They were in boxes, they were in smaller cages, they were in safe houses that they had built, but these animals were all contained. They had nowhere to roam. You could just see they were all in a small cage, and it was just too packed, and they didn't have their actual habitat, and it was causing actual problems for the animals. And the zoo, they were describing how they didn't have enough funds, so I told the ambassador, I would like to do a fundraiser for the zoo, and that's when he agreed, and he said that'd be a good idea, and we started planning with the zoo managers and how we could do it when I came home.
So you went back to Chicago and you started raising funds.
Right.
How was it? Was it a challenge?
Yeah, I'd say it was a challenge, but it was a fun challenge. It was something I definitely love to do again. I came back, and there was a very large festival through my church, Science Spirituality, called Veggie Fest in the Chicagoland area. And
I believe that's the largest veggie fest in the entire United States.
that is correct. And this Veggie Fest, I set up a booth there called Help Save Endangered Species. And this is where I had information. I had big posters and pictures of the animals and big banner. And I put a donation box, and people would come by, and I'd ask them if they'd like to donate. And many people were very generous, and they were like, oh, they're interested and they wanted to know more. So I had printed pamphlets, and they had helped, and I had raised about several $1,000s through the first 2 days of the Veggie Fest.
Now, there are a lot of young adults who are watching the show, and they want to get inspired by your story. And it's not just, community involvement on just a little small level, but you've gone, way, way high and raised the bar. So what would be your, message to them, how they can be actively engaged in community projects?
My message to the youth would probably be continue giving, keep on giving, and it never hurts to stop, because giving back to the community is very important, and they will soon learn in the future that the more they give to the community, the more the community will give back to them. And if they help support, it's unbelievable the amount of support the community can give back to one person. And I
know that you go to senior homes as well. You play music out there as well.
Yeah, every other week or every weekend I go and play saxophone down, and they love it. And they connect, and they know, because sometimes I take songs that are from the 50s and 60s and play, and they remember these blues songs and jazz songs, and they relate. And I think it's fun because they see enjoyment, they love, and they always go, one more song, or sometimes they joke around, they say, you didn't play this many this time, you have to prepare more next time. And I've created like bonds with them, and after a while, you get close to them, so it's nice.
Very fulfilling experience for you.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Yuvraj, and keep up this good work.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Such amazing energy and passion for such a young age. We'll now take a look at another Valentine's Day celebration, but this time in northern New Jersey. Let's take a look.
I'm standing right at the place called the Villas, which is a beautiful Italian place, one of the location of Frangillo brothers. The place is owned by Mr. Jerry Frangillo and Robert Frangillo. And they are organizing today first ever South Asian Valentine's Day celebration party with the help of one of their great event manager, property manager, Terence D'Souza. And you will see that we have a lot of multinationality and different race people, apart from Indian, joining this party celebration, and everybody is enjoying.
Thank you, Sarwan, for covering this event. As you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful day, and we're celebrating the Valentine's Day at the Villa.
Is a beautifully and tastefully done party. When I came here and looked at the beautiful venue that has been picked up, I was totally awed by it, and the environment, the food, the people, the energies here. It's just been very thoughtfully done, and I'm so happy to be part of this evening.
It's a really lovely evening. It's beautiful, and everything is so nicely organized. Love is in the air, and it's Valentine's Day, so it's beautiful people and beautiful setting. It's really nice evening to spend with the beautiful people.
We are in Valentine's Day party. We are in a villa banquet hall. It's very nice people over here, very good times. Everybody have enjoy, and everybody have Valentine's Days.
It's a huge honor to be here this evening at the villa in Mountain Lakes with my Desi family, and here together we are celebrating what is a very beautiful occasion, and that is Valentine's Day, where we celebrate love for each other, not just for a sweetheart, but love for all of our family.
It's time for just one more break, but don't go far. We'll be right back with more Your Voice.